Sup world, welcome back to Radical Investors, where we talk about stocks, crypto, NFTs, and all the ways how to get the money. I'm Wasu.
I'm Hamed.
And today we're talking about Elon Musk acquiring Twitter.
Wow. Let's go.
Hey guys, welcome back to Radical Investors. I'm sure you heard the news. Elon Musk is buying Twitter.
Yeah.
Very interesting times we live in. We wanted to give you guys our commentary on the potential purchase.
Yeah, so I don't know about potential anymore, man.
It still has to pass the regulators.
It's
right?
still, I don't know. Since it's going from a public to private, I think there's really no regulations involved. I think this is going to be pretty much a clean deal, man.
Okay.
But yeah, so Elon Musk will be buying Twitter for a reported $44 billion. So he actually got it cheaper than his first initial offer.
That's a beautiful game, man. One of the richest men in the world.
Yeah, it's a game to be the richest man in the world, right?
Yeah,
so, so many, there's so many ways to look at this, man. There's so many thoughts, from our perspective, from just an investing channel. Definitely, I do think for Elon Musk, this is a great deal. I think you are buying a product, Twitter, that is globally known. It has great IP, right? Tweets, the logo, a lot of intellectual property around it. Do they even own tweets? Like, does Twitter own the actual tweets that are sent?
Maybe.
I don't know what's the talk on that, but definitely it's a lot of clout. It could be seen as a one of these trophy buys, but it is showing you just the levels on, just how the world is changing, right? Where you have somebody so rich to the point you can buy Twitter.
Yeah, it's a very interesting time that we live in. If you guys watched our last video, not very many of you did, but if you watched our last video, we talked in depth about how we feel about kind of this ultra elite class kind of ruling and taking all of the quote unquote public spaces. So Jeff Bezos owning Washington Post. Mark Zuckerberg obviously owning Facebook. That's a public square type place where a lot of people get their news from. Now Elon owning Twitter, where a lot of people get their news from. So I'm personally torn. On one side of me believes that this is just a boomer play that doesn't move the needle, because if you look at Twitter, actually, only not that many, the percent of people that actually use it, right? It's very, very small. Facebook's user base is 10 times that of Twitter. The only thing about Twitter is the people that are on Twitter, which is mostly the press, those people
around that ecosystem.
Yeah, those people help shape culture, right? So cancel culture starts on Twitter, right? That's a Twitter thing. Woke culture starts on Twitter. Right-wing outrage Twitter starts on Twitter. All these things really start on Twitter. So it's like not that many people, but their core burns so hot. That's why it seems like it's a big deal. And they kind of create the culture for normal people, right? Normies that are not really into Twitter. So that's why it's kind of a big deal. But then again, there's other platforms that are looking to come up in this space. This might be an opportunity for a competitor. We shall see. We don't know. But at the end of the day, $44 billion for Twitter, I think is great value. And we can look back and, Elon is really good at turning around companies and lending his brand to companies. So we can turn around and he can easily double this up to a $100 million valuation company.
Yeah, look, I think it's interesting. It's like it's like a lot of just mixed thoughts with this, because it's like, I'm a big fan of Elon, but it's like, so it's cool in the sense of he can get stuff done. He's proven this before. Previous companies that he's started himself, and other companies that he's acquired and then just turned it into a mega ship. He's done this previous times before. So definitely, he has kind of laid out what his roadmap is and what he visualizes and wants to see for Twitter, which is pretty basic to me, because it's something that I feel like the Twitter team could have executed on their own, but they kind of put themselves against the wall by trying to stand on one side, instead of just standing in their own lane of just sticking to their own principles. So I think this is a great example of you seeing a company that lost their way, chasing sides instead of sticking to their own vision. And here you had an individual that capitalized on that and has taken your rocket ship, right? And now is steering that towards the original vision of the company. So that's interesting there. But yeah, there's going to be so many plays. I think there is a lot of opportunity for new platforms to play out, because not everybody is a fan of Elon, right? That's, I think, depending on what media you consume, you might, it'll lean you towards one direction, right? So, that's there. You have Trump that just came out today and said that he doesn't plan on returning back to Twitter. So like earlier this morning, I was just thinking of, okay, that's probably going to be the first thing that kind of Elon clears out. It's just this, like, all these people that were canceled on either side, either background, whatever, are going to return to this.
Azealia Banks,
right?
Back to
Twitter. Right. Forgot about Azealia, right?
Azealia Banks,
right. All of the individuals, right? They're going to just enter back to this space, right? Like what was that? Part 2, Infinity Wars Part 2. Yeah. They just gonna all wake up and be back alive again. It's gonna be another, it's gonna be a crazy party, right? Yeah. But
should be good for their platform.
It should be good for their platform to see all these people return. But like a person like Trump will not be returning. He can't actually
that's what he says.
That's what he said, and he said he's gonna stick to Truth Social. So we'll see how true that is down the road. But yeah, it is an opportunity for the platform to have new life, for there to be new energy around the space, and hopefully for conversations just to be better, and just the reduction of bots and just clarity there, because that's a big one, right? Yeah. And especially with Twitter having such a strong ecosystem in the crypto space, hopefully that gets more integrated into the system on a fundamental level, so that can kind of help that community out, because I think that community is bringing so much attention and new eyeballs and just focus and value to Twitter. So
yeah, if I had two things on my wish list, number one, getting rid of the bots.
Yeah.
And number two, more inclusion of NFTs and crypto into the foundation of what Twitter actually is. If Elon does those two things, I'll be incredibly happy. But please get rid of those bots.
It's just scamming
so many scams, people. But also like the bots that no one talks about that go around and tries to manipulate popular discord and popular opinion about subjects, right? So like brands and big institutions, they're just going around, like in the music space, for instance, and if someone just drops a album, you'll see really quickly all these bots getting on, hyping up the album, or maybe dissing an album, or whatever the case may be, in order to try to get the masses to see, look, everyone hates it, I'm going to jump on a hate train too, or everyone likes it, I'm going to jump on the love train too. It's something that you see in music, it's something that you see in the movies, politics and stuff like that. And what hopefully this can be, if it goes right, is a return to free-flowing conversations, where you can put up your 140 or 280 characters, and we can speak about concepts without jumping down at each other's throats. So hopefully it can get back to that. I'm a big fan of Twitter Spaces. Within Twitter, it seems like a lot of that deep conversation is happening on Twitter Spaces. We'll see. We'll continue to follow this, guys. As always, leave your comments, leave your questions. If you have requests for videos, leave that in the comments section. Happy hunting. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.